HPR provide some data, some sort of answer, but it suffers from some flaws. First, it ignores compounding. It does not assume that there is a compounding occurring every year or every month, right? And it is not generally annualized. Another problem with HPR is, you just see this, it is ignoring the timing of the cash flow also. For it, this 1 rupee which I got in the first year, the second rupee I get in the second year, all are same. Although this 1 rupee which I got the first year is more valuable than this 1 rupee which I got the next year. All of that it is ignoring. It is just said my 50 rupees became 105. When did I get that money? It is assuming everything I got at the end of the holding period, which is not true, right? So it has these flaws, but still for a common person HPR has some value कि मेरा पैसा इतना % बढ़ गया, right? Still for a normal person it has a value, and the solution to this problem is to calculate the IRR of the investment, right? So IRR is also called holding period yield. We have yesterday done IRR, right? So suppose for the same question I know my 50 rupees and these are the cash flows I got, 1 rupee, 1 rupee, 1 rupee, 1 rupee and 101 rupee in the fifth year. Now at what rate should I discount each of these cash flows so that I get my 50 rupees, and that's the return. तो किस रेट पे मैं ये आगे वाले कैश फ्लोज को डिस्काउंट करूं कि मुझे 50 आंसर आ जाए, that rate is called IRR, right? That when NPV of at the rate which NPV becomes 0 is IRR. So today we are understanding it in a different perspective. The meaning is the same. At what rate should I discount my future cash flows so that I get what I have invested today at time period 0? That rate is called IRR. Generally IRR is a superior measure as compared to HPR, but it also has some problems. The first and the major problem is IRR assumes that all intermediate cash flows are reinvested at IRR, right? Second, it assumes that you have held the investment till maturity. Third, it assumes that all cash flows are equally spaced. There is no difference in the time period. There is no gap. So if it is monthly, it assumes everything is monthly. If it's yearly, everything is yearly, right? And also, if I am calculating the IRR for a particular stock as a number, it ignores stock splits, stock dividend, bonus, etc., which might make the calculation a little different unless you adjust it for it. So what are the assumptions of calculating IRR? First is all intermediate cash flow are reinvested at IRR, and this is something which you should understand. It is assuming, just let me highlight this, it is assuming that this 1 rupee got reinvested at 16.42% for the next 4 years. This 1 rupee which I got after 1 year, the second 1 rupee was reinvested at 16.42% for the next, say, 3 years, this one for 2 years, and this one for 1 year. So it is assuming that, right? So is it possible that whenever you receive an investment, it is reinvested at IRR? May happen or may not happen. Yes or no? भाई आपने 1 लाख रुपए लगाए और आपको 10,000 रुपए साल आ रहे अगले 5 साल तक, जो 10,000 रुपए आपके पास आए, is it necessary that you are able to reinvest it at the same rate which IRR is, which we calculate the IRR? No. You might have invested it at a higher or lower rate depending on the market rate of return. Yes.
Yes.
Now, if you IRR assumes that the internal calculation assumes that you invested at IRR, but your actual reinvestment rate could be different than IRR.
Yes.
If you actually find out that which rate you were able to invest and what the return came, that becomes MIRR, modified internal rate of return. So suppose this 1 rupee, after getting, I was not able to invest it at 16.42 but only 12%. If I find out the IRR assuming that the reinvestment was done at 12%, the resultant IRR would be called the modified IRR. Is this clear or not? First you understand the reinvestment assumption, and second you understand if reinvestment is done at a different rate and we are able to calculate what the resultant return would be at the different rate, that return is called modified IRR.
Reach out today and let's do it professionally.